Good morning, YouTube. It is currently July 2nd, 2018, and I'm on my way to the Orlando VA hospital in Orlando, obviously, to get a checkup just to make sure everything's good. Nothing weird going on with me medically. So I'm not working today, but I am scheduled for the rest of this week. Wanted to do a quick update to let you guys know what is currently going on with the channel and with everything else, with Little Blue and everything. If you watched the previous unboxing video that I just made the other day, or the other night, you know that Charles, the guardian of Little Blue, has sent a bunch of items to repair Little Blue. And right now, my driver's side window is actually working again. Thank you very much, Charles. I didn't fully fix the whole window. I just took the switch and put it in so I could lower the window. We'll do a separate repair video where we try to put the door and the controllers, you know, the window sliders, whatever they're called, back on. But right now I just installed it so I can have the windows lowered while I'm driving, because the AC still isn't working. But with the windows open, I'm at least getting a cross ventilation. So sorry for the wind noise if you're hearing that on the camera, but I kind of need the windows open, or, you know, it's like riding around in an oven in here. So thank you very much, Charles. Also, by having all those components, we'll be able to do some more van-related videos where we replace the visors and even the speed controller for the fan blower. Then I think, time permitting, Charles is going to try to walk me through to see if we can't diagnose what's wrong with the air conditioning system, and see if we can't get that working. But that's still up in the air. But at least I have components right now to try to get Blue working as best as possible right now, without too much effort, something that I feel I can actually handle. Also, for those of you who didn't see the other video, I am going to go ahead and just keep this channel going per the request of viewers. After seeing the outpouring of love and comments made by viewers, I've decided that we're going to go ahead and keep the channel going. But I was going to originally rename it to Footprints in the Sand, but based upon reading the comments from viewers and seeing their suggestions about how this video is known as living in a van, and it doesn't really matter what content I put up. You know, there's always going to be people who will complain about something. You know, the name, not like if it was Footprints in the Sand, they'd probably say, well, I don't see any footprints in the sand. You know, so it took a while to build this channel up, you know. So living in a van is like a brand in itself, and I think it only makes sense to go ahead and just leave the channel as it is. For the last year or so, I haven't really been living in the van. You know, I mean, I was when I was traveling around the state, but for the most part, the channel has me filming, you know, out of Walter's house or his backyard or something. So we're gonna go ahead and keep this channel pretty much exactly the way it is right now. It is what viewers have come to view and enjoy about the channel. So making any changes probably isn't the best idea. Now, I was originally going to make another channel, you know, that was going to be more commercial in nature, which I still plan on doing. But instead of doing a brand new channel that might flop, you know, and pull time from me, because you have to go through the whole monetization process and everything else, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and keep it on this channel per the suggestions of viewers, since it's already monetized. And even though the new content will be quite a bit different than what you're seeing right now, it's going to be a generic top 10 countdown channel. So instead of the channel, it's going to be a generic top 10 countdown playlist. So what we're going to do is probably a feature called Denoy's Top 10. And it's going to have things that I do for the top 10 countdown that I think would attract viewers to bring them to watch the videos. Now, unlike the videos here where you have me, you know, pretty much sharing my life, those videos will be more generic in nature. And I don't think really too much different than all the other top 10 channels that you see. The only difference being that it's going to have me hosting it and me generating the content. So So I'll be looking for things and basically stories or top 10 items that I think are interesting enough that people will want to tune in and watch. So stay tuned for those things that'll be coming, because I think if that's successful, then, you know, no matter what happens with the situation with Maurice in South Florida, I'll still be okay. So you've got to always have like a backup plan, you know, just in case things fail. You don't want to be in a situation where you put all your eggs in one basket and it fails, and then you're in serious trouble, which is like, you know, how I ended up here right now. I put all my eggs in one basket. It ended up not working out, and here we are. Now, the situation with Maurice, I'm actually looking at work down in South Florida right now, so I'm starting to prepare to put in applications to see if I can't get employment down there near Maurice's house, you know, where he lives. So that way, if I'm living down there, I'll actually have a job. I can actually work and try to make a living, you know, to pay bills and whatnot, and then do the work for Maurice on the side. That way, if things doesn't work out with Maurice, I'll still have a job down there, which I can decide if I want to stay or if I want to leave. Because I'll have my van with me, hopefully. You know, hopefully the van is still running. Right now, the van seems to be running great. You know, I have put in the window thing, the window switch, so it, you know, has been able to be lowered, and all the lights are off except for the brake light, which I think came on probably because of the water, you know, had been sitting on the brakes from last Friday when I drove home from work, and I didn't drive the van all weekend, so I think that's what was causing it. Although the safety brakes on this van doesn't seem to work. Like, you're supposed to be able to push it down and it releases, and it doesn't release. So I don't know what happened with it, but it doesn't seem to be holding the vehicle back. It doesn't seem to be making it so it doesn't run. So I don't think the lights being on is indicative of the safety brake system. But I do want to thank all the viewers who tuned in and left comments, because it did have a direct feedback on this channel. And, you know, the fact that we're still here and not off the air right now. And the name is going to stay the same, as well as the content. I think by making the playlist, that's probably the best solution. The simplest is, you know, usually the simplest thing you can do is probably the best thing you can do to fix a situation or a problem. And that's what we're going to do. Now, the stuff that Charles sent me, including this computer thingy here, which he sent me previously, will be used to diagnose the ride, you know, if the car suddenly dies. This is, as you can see, this highway here is pretty empty and has a part of a shoulder that I can pull off on. So if the van were to suddenly die right now, I do have the computer with me and can do an actual reading, so you guys can kind of help me diagnose, you know, what I need to do to fix the problem. But right now, it seems to be running great. You know, I don't really see any weirdness as far as lights being on, other than the ABS light. Now, I also have the various components that Charles sent me, so we're going to have some more upcoming van repair videos, including replacement of the visors, as well as actually installing the switches, you know, and the console panels, and the door handle. That's going to be kind of a pain. I'm going to see if I can get that to install and work correctly. I don't know if it is, but we're going to try it out and see what happens. I think I'll have to open up the passenger side to look at how it went on again, because it's been so long since I've had the system together working that I don't remember how it all goes back together. So we'll open up the passenger side to replace the switch on that, and then we'll do the driver's side, which is already taken apart. Hopefully they did the passenger side the same way they did the driver's side, so that I can actually, you know, just try to do you a reverse image, a mirror image of the disassembly to see how it all goes back together. So thank you again very much for sending all those items, Charles. You know, otherwise, more than likely, I wouldn't have repaired these things. Repair wasn't, or isn't, hopefully isn't going to be so hard. It's just an issue of having the time to run out there and do all this, you know, being motivated enough to do it, but having the time and even the finances. Charles has, I think, gone above and beyond, you know. He went so far as taking his own personal time to go out there and to get the actual components, because he knew that if he just told me what I needed to do, I probably wouldn't do it. It's pretty sad, but you know, that's the reality. Is I'm kind of overwhelmed with everything that's going on right now. Just so many different things happening. I still need to finish the tree. It's been raining pretty much every day after work. So the hope today is, because I took the whole day off from work, that after I return from the hospital, it'll still be sunny, you know, and start to dry up. The backyard's like a swimming pool. There's water. Like when I went out there the other day, there was like 3 or 4 inches of standing water, yeah, on the ground, which was pretty nasty, because that water connects to the neighbor's yard, and their dog, you know, defecates all over the yard, and they don't clean it up. So that water is poopy water. So you really don't want to be standing around in it. But I'm hoping that it'll all be dry today, because the sun seems to be out and shining, and that I'll be able to go out there and work on the tree some more. Interestingly though, when I went out there the other day to look at it, the parts that I had cut off already had mold growing on it. Yeah, fungus was growing on the parts that I cut. So things grow really fast here in the rainy season. I'm hoping that it's not going to be too nasty, but I'm going to go out there and try to trim off some more. I think I'll try the root system, and then over the next week or two, start speaking with the neighbors about going to their yard to try to cut off the branches themselves and haul that off. So I've got a few more weeks to work on the tree, so with any luck, we'll have it out of there. Either way, I'll keep working on it and hacking away piece by piece, trying to take it as safe as possible. And just a reminder for those of you who think I'm only working on there for 10-15 minutes or whatever, however long the video is, usually I'm out there for several hours. You know, when I get off work, or like today when I'm not working, I'm going to go out there and actually try to spend hours working on it to see if I can't make some headway. Otherwise, as you have clearly pointed out, working for 10 minutes a day, it's never going to get done. So just keep that in mind, even though the video segments aren't, you know, super long. They're actually cut down for YouTube, and you know, I wanted to show you the whole process, as many of you seem to enjoy watching what all happens. So look forward to that. I want to thank you all for tuning in, for all your kind words, your suggestions, and your prayers. They are making a difference, and I think things are starting to hopefully shape up for me. We'll see what happens with the situation with South Florida and my new job with Maurice, as well as my job search down in South Florida. Take care, everybody. Thank you again for everything. God bless you all. Have a fantastic day.